Hey, good morning. We're going to go for a little ride and I'll tell you about some stuff. What I've been doing is I've been checking out the controller. I put the EJK controller on the bike. I really like it. I put it on there 2 days ago. Just been on some short rides around town. So today I thought I'd take it up to some speed and see how it does. I got to watch the roads here though, because we're on the point of maybe some frost in sections. But what I find is there's a lot better, well, I don't know a lot, definitely, put it that way, definitely better torque, throttle response, more instant power. Okay, well, so it isn't a sport bike, but hey, I figure it's got a lot more pep, a lot more instant power than it had before the controller. I don't know, a lot. Those words are pretty subjective, but I think that it's definitely improved. I do. So I would say that it's a good investment for the 200 and some odd dollars that you'll spend on it. I was going to mount it up here somewhere and have a little switch, an on-off switch, which you can route from the black ground wire, and just to interrupt the ground wire, so you only need like a single pole on-off switch. And I was going to do that and then put the switch here somewhere, I don't know, could go anywhere. And then that way, if I'm, up in the hills and I need the extra power, I've got it. But if I'm, let's say, going home from that on a long stretch of highway where I want fuel economy, then I can just switch it off. And I may do that yet. I may get the switch, but I didn't for now. And I didn't mount it up here, the controller. I put it under the seat because I figured, well, one more thing to look at. I mean, who needs the distraction? And I doubt that I'll have to adjust it too much. Maybe not at all. Now, because this bike does not have the aftermarket exhaust, I've got the stock exhaust, and I have not modified the airbox. I used the settings that EJK recommend for the controller for a stock bike. And those settings seem to work fine. I notice the difference, especially in the low to mid range. That's where I really noticed the difference. I had it wide open there on a stretch once or twice just now, full throttle, and it didn't seem to have a lot of extra kick to me. I'm not sure. But low to mid range, definitely you can feel it. So this is a good thing. I didn't modify the airbox because when I open up the airbox and I look at it and I look at that snorkel, I'm thinking that it's designed that way for a reason. And if you look at the diameter of the snorkel compared to the diameter of the throttle body, the snorkel is wider. So therefore, no matter how hard the throttle body draws air with vacuum from the engine, the snorkel is going to provide always more than it needs, because it's just going to get sucked right through. And the design of the snorkel is so that the air has less turbulence instead of creating eddies within the airbox. So I left it in because I think maybe it's the best idea. I didn't remove the backfire screen either because just for safety reasons, I think, you know, if you did get the odd backfire, maybe I'll never get one into the airbox. But if you did, who needs a fire, right? I mean, that's what it's there for. So I left it. That's just me, my own personal opinion. But I like the way the bike runs now. Some of the things I've done on the bike, not a lot. I've changed the sprockets, Renthal 13 tooth up front and Renthal 42 tooth in the rear. And I really like that. Although I would say that it's even a little bit low on the gearing right now. But then again, my rear tire, as you can see, is quite down. And considering the depth of the knobs to start with, you take the difference there and multiply it by 2, right, for the diameter. And that's quite a bit less diameter on the tire now. So that's lowering the gear as well. So when I get a new tire, I can always get a slightly taller tire like the Dunlop D606, and that will compensate for some of the low gearing here and put it a little bit between the 42 tooth and the 42 tooth, or in the 40 tooth. It's kind of like as if I had a 41 tooth. Anyway, yeah. And what else have I done? Removed the passenger pegs because I'm not going to go too up on this bike. And I put epoxy putty in there, so it's I don't want water to get in the frame, even though it does have a drain hole down here somewhere, but you know, I don't want rusting in the frame member. And this is a Borrego tail rack here. And I like it a lot because it's nice and wide, so I can put lots of things on there. This is the Motocentric Sequoia tail bag, and it fits beautifully on there. The straps that the tail bag comes with are long enough so that you can put something underneath this bag and still strap the bag over it, such as the coal pin gas pack that I also have. It's at home, of course. That fits right on the rack, clamps on, quick connect, and then the bag straps on over top of that. Or I can put my French easel there. I'm an artist, so I can strap it to the rack and then tail bag over top of that with supplies in it and such. Go painting in the hills. Cool idea. What else have I done? That's probably it. Got the sprockets, rack, bag. The bag is really good. I like it a lot. It's I like the shape of it because it doesn't look bulky like some big square appliance on the back of the bike, but it's got lots of room, you know, there's plenty of pockets, side pockets here. This bag is expandable actually. You do a zipper up here and it collapses. I just leave it expanded. So I don't know what I'd do without the bag. It's so handy. This is where I live. Isn't it gorgeous? Lovely.